Why is this happening? Let me give you one example from the Old Testament. Let's look at the story of Joseph. You guys remember Joseph? Got lots of brothers, right? He's got the cool coat because his dad likes him a lot. His brothers take him out because they're really jealous, and they throw him in the well. Now let's just say that's where the story picks up, and Joseph cries out to God, says, excuse me, why am I in the well? And God answers, oh, it's because I have a plan. They're going to pull you out in just a little bit. Joseph's like, woohoo! Get out! Well, no, then they're going to throw you back in. What? Well, yeah, that's part of the plan. Well, why are they going to throw me back in? Well, you're not going to stay in there forever. All right, I'm getting out! Well, now they're going to sell you to the circus, and you're going to become a slave. What? That doesn't sound like fun. No, really, it's cool, because then you're going to get to have these really cool dreams. Woohoo! All right, well, that's not going to work out for you really well either. Eventually, you're going to become really important. All right! But then you're going to be accused of rape. That's not good! Well, that's okay, because then you're going to go back to prison. I don't want to do that, but then you're going to get to have more dreams. All right! Well, then you're going to get to be really, really important. Oh, that sounds cool! And then one day they're going to make a Broadway musical about you called The Coat of Many Colors. See, that's how the story would have to go. If every time we asked why, he would have to tell us about what's ahead. And the truth is, if I'd have known at 25 what I know about my life at 45, I would not have walked with God. I would have turned my back on God, and I would have done what I wanted to do. Because this has not been easy. And so when we're asking him why, we're asking him for privileged information that the truth is, if we knew, would hurt us. It would hurt us. It would scare us to death. It's okay to ask why, but don't expect an answer. Because his answer usually is that bad answer. Because I said so. That's usually the answer. Many of us think of God like the Prudential Rock. Remember the rock out in the middle of the ocean, right? God the rock. Firm, solid, not going anywhere. I have found that God is that. His character is like that. But I've found that the personality of God is more like the water. He's deep. And he's shallow. He's got hot spots and he's got cold spots. He's got raging spots and he's got calm spots. Because God has a personality. And his personality responds to people. His character is like the rock. But his personality is like the water. That's a different way of thinking about God. Because they're the same God. Same God. Rock solid character with a personality that responds and moves. Comes and goes, he ebbs and flows. Soren Kierkegaard is a world-famous theologian, and this is what he said. He said that God is like the captain of a cruise ship. God owns the boat. God owns the boat. And when we get on the boat, everybody gets a chair. You can sit wherever you want on the boat. You can sit on the sun deck, you can be on the first deck, you can be down by the pool, you can be by the restaurant, you can be wherever you want. Everybody gets their own chair, sit wherever you want, get on my boat, I'm driving the boat. Now let's just say that we're in our boat, we're going to leave Miami. Okay? And we're going to leave Miami and we're going to take a little trip over to the Bahamas. So we're going to take a little trip over to the Bahamas. Boat, go over to the Bahamas. Now, there we go. See that? We're going over to the Bahamas. Bahamas is cool, man. Come over here, I'll braid your hair for $1. And you're going to the Bahamas? Alright? So now we're going to go over to St. Martin. Okay, now St. Martin's like way over here. And so the boat leaves, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, there's a hurricane. What does the captain of the boat do? He doesn't go, oh no, we're done. Instead, he goes around the hurricane, and we still end up at St. Martin. Now, it wasn't a direct path, but we still got there, right? Now, we're going to leave St. Martin, and this time we're going to go to Puerto Rico. And so we go into Puerto Rico. Hey, we're all Ricans. Either American or Puerto Rican. One of you got it. Right? So we end up in Puerto Rico. Cool place, nice place, but we're not done, because now we're going to go all the way over here to Honduras. And we're going along, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes a pirate ship. Oh my gosh, now what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to fold, we're going to give them... No, I'm driving the boat, I still got a plane, so we go around the pirate ship and go over to Honduras. Honduras is a neat place. Over there we work for Habitat for Humanity. We're having a great time. And now we're going to go to my favorite place in the world, the Cayman Islands. But we get there and there's a gigantic typhoon rainstorm, and we can't get off the boat there. And so now we're very sad, but you know, our week is up, so now we have to go all the way around Cuba, can you believe it, all the way back to Miami. Now here's the point. The boat does the same thing from the very beginning all the way to the end. We're going along, something happens, we go around. I'll go around that one too, all the way around. And here's the point. God's driving the boat. God knows where we left, and God knows where we're going. That's the important part. And for you and I, we go, oh no, there's a hurricane. Oh no, there's a cyclone. Oh no, there's a rainstorm. What are we going to do? And God goes, just buckle up, buttercup. I'm driving the boat. That's the answer to the question. And we want to sit and somehow go, oh my gosh, this is going to destroy us. This is going to, the whole trip is over. Now I want you to listen. When I take my little slogan from Greyhound, when I ride and leave the driving to Him, I can live my life in peace because I trust Him. I have peace because I'm not worried that He's angry at me because there's some kind of cyclone in my life. I don't imagine and create things that aren't true because I'm trusting Him. I can relax in His presence knowing that He loves me and He accepts me and He forgives me and He restores me. I can be on the boat and enjoy His people because I know that we're protected and we're unified. It's His boat. It's His church. He's the perfect captain. I am not. Nothing on the boat or off the boat is going to sink the boat. The gates of hell will not prevail against my boat. No man, no woman, no president, no pope, no judge, or no pastor can sink his boat because it's his boat. And I want you to listen, it's not cool just because he's driving. It's because he knows the end. I'm leaving Miami. I'm coming back to Miami. He knows the end. And guess what? So do we. We know the end. And in the end, we win. We win. It doesn't matter what comes our way. We win. But you gotta trust Him to drive the boat. Instead of trying to drive it ourselves. Like, I don't know, I'm not so sure. I think we should. What? No! That's not the point. The point is it's His boat. And that's how we can be free to worship Him in spirit and in truth. Is to quit trying to drive the boat. We all have storms. And my question to you is, what is God's answer to your storms? John 17, as Jesus is praying, He says, now, Father, I don't pray that you take them out of the world. I pray you leave them in there, but that you would protect them. That was Jesus' prayer. Not to take them away from the storm, but to protect you in the storm. God's answer for you in the middle of the storm is simple. Connect with me. Worship me. Draw close to me. Go deeper in me. That's the answer for the storms. Christ had this exact same journey and He faced it head on. You say, Jesus never went through any of this. Oh yeah? Well, what about this? Jesus faced a what? It was the cup. Remember that? He said, Father, I'm not really too hip on this. And then He prayed, but not my will, but... So that was two different wills. I want you to think about that. Jesus was willing to surrender His will. He was hoping for something else. And then what happened to Him? At one point, He asked the question, why? Why have you forsaken me? Where are you? Why? He didn't ask, where'd you go? The question was, why? Of all the people that have ever been on the planet, why would you forsake me? And then at the end, He said, I'll commit to you my spirit. So Jesus went through this same process. I came across a story of a couple named Warren and Julie Lavender. And I'd like for you to listen to this story. They had decided that they were going to go scuba diving for the first time. And how many of you have been scuba diving? It's a very cool experience. And they got this boat captain, he drove them out to this reef, and they were in water that was about 80 feet deep. And they went out, and as soon as they jumped into the water, they noticed that it was really, really turbulent. And a lot of people don't know this, but under the ocean there are underwater rivers. And it'll slam you into the coral and stuff. I mean, it's potentially very dangerous. They got underwater, as they're swimming along, all of a sudden the husband is like being swept away. And he later said, I had the thought on my mind, why would anybody do this? This is a really great way to never want to do this again. And so they finally grab a hold of each other, and they got a rope. They had a rope, and sometimes you do this when you dive, and it's a connecting rope you put around your wrist, and so that they could stay together. And they start looking around this coral, and they're just being swept. He says, like it's an underwater tornado. And he's looking around, and they're noticing that all the fish are hiding.